Hey, what's up, Detroit and listening audiences? We're back. It's been a while. We've been gone for a hot minute, but we are back. It's Keith Butler and my co-host.
I'm Big Daddy Jeff Lowe. What's going on,
We want to welcome you guys back to the
Sixth Hole, man.
The Sixth Hole studio.
That's
and
right.
our show, The Hook. Jeff, I'm doing great, baby. I've been up north, the last couple of weeks, so, we've been on hiatus.
Yeah, right.
Doing a lot of work up at the place and getting it together. You need to come up and check it out, man. It's great.
I've been up there before, but you're right.
But it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
But, the golfers are starting to pack it up. It's getting cold here in Detroit. It was like 39 degrees this morning, man.
Hey.
And I put on my long johns. And I'm getting old, baby. I got to warm up. But let's get rolling,
it's still
man.
early.
But hey, 39 degrees is 39 degrees.
I hear you.
But let's get started, man. We got somebody here you brought on the show.
Yes.
Make the introduction.
Well, we got a special guest from the state of South Kakalaki, right? Hey, Ramon.
Yes, okay.
Ramon Robinson from Elite Quarterback Training.
Okay.
Do I have that correct, Ramon?
Yeah, that's the quarterback division, but the overall 501c3 sports organization is elite position training, and also the QB Legacy, which is a national quarterback fraternity for former collegiate and professional guys. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Ramon, welcome to The Hook and True Detroiter, brought to you by True Detroiter.
And Detroit United.
Detroit United, yes. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to the show. And how's the weather down there, matter of fact, since we're getting started here?
It's not as hot as it usually is, but it's good. That fall is kicking in now.
Right.
And it's, the weather been ranging in between the high 70s and 80s. Of course, we had the storm last week.
That didn't affect you any, did it?
No, it didn't. Not with us being inland, but more so the damage, a lot of damage. Things done, coming off the coast,
right.
From Myrtle Beach and the Beaufort area. But it came up through Columbia a little bit. But we always get the high winds, heavy rain, and things like that. But from what I understand, I don't think there was any deaths, reported in our area anyway.
Well, that's good.
Well, Ramon, hey, I really appreciate you doing this segment with us, and we got you here to talk about college athletes and this new thing that is long overdue, especially for college athletes. The NIL, and if people don't know what the NIL means, it's name, image, and likeness, and now college athletes can be paid, compensated.
About time.
Money, moolah. Parents, you can be, before signing that letter of intent. Can I get a couple million with that letter of intent?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but Ramon, explain it to us,
Yeah, tell us about it, man.
Yeah, so basically what it is, we all know from years past, everybody's always complained about how much the coaches are making and things of that sort. And the players are the ones that's bringing the fans into the stands, and, filling the seats. And, it's always been an argument that, players should get paid, and it's always been an argument that they shouldn't get paid. And, it's always, hey, they're here to play football and things of that sort. I don't feel like, you always had the mixed reviews with college coaches in regards to some was for it, some wasn't against. Some was against it. And, I've always been one that, of course, I'm being an athlete, but once I retired from the game, I started looking at things and picking up on, there's a lot of money being generated from these players. And these players was only benefiting it from just, what they're getting from scholarship and things of that sort. But you got people all in the stands with their number on and their names on the back of their jerseys, but they was not reaping any benefits from that. Mm-hmm. So, you look at it, so, that's billions, and I ain't going to say millions, that's billions of dollars across the board, just with everybody, with the colleges. And so that's what they did. They finally got to, came to the table and said, hey, look, we got to come up with something in regards to being able to allow these guys to get paid and compensated for their name, image, and likeness. And so now they came up with it. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit out of hand right now.
Okay.
But it was, and I'm gonna get on that part there, but I think it all is a rhyme and reason for everything. Okay, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. Why they're doing this and why you're doing that, and so you get to the point of, I just feel like the NCAA just finally threw their hands up and just said, "Hey, look, we got to allow these guys to get some money off of their names because what's happening is." Go ahead.
Okay, but what about the naysayers who still believe that they're here to play football? They're here on a scholarship.
We're giving them an education.
We're giving them money. We're giving them a free education. We're giving them room and board, and we're feeding them. What about all that, Ramon? Come on now.
Oh, okay. This is where it's at. So now when you get that point, you got guys, they're on scholarship. But at the end of the day, everything is off a schedule, correct? We all been to college. Everything is off a schedule. You know, your meal is here. Your meal is at this time, is at this time. So now, what about a kid that's getting out of football practice? His last meal was at 6 o'clock. All right? Cafeteria usually closed at 6 or 7 o'clock. Ain't none of that changed from all of us in school. Right. You got what I'm saying? So now, you got a kid that's hungry. You got a kid that's hungry. At the same time, if he's not reaping that big Pell Grant, then guess what? You got a kid that's starving. Now you got kids out here going out here doing things that they shouldn't be doing to overcompensate and bring in money. You got what I'm saying? Well, and so go ahead.
You said Pell Grant. You know what I mean? Now that's a government source of money. Okay, the Pell Grant is.
That's a government source of money, and all that is based off of what your family, what your household brings in.
Right.
So therefore, you have, if you come from low income home families, you're gonna get a kid that's gonna probably get back about $5,000. Because I know when I was in school, it was like $5,800 a semester. You got what I'm saying? But but that all that is depending on what level of play you at.
Now take this in mind, though, Ramon. Pell Grants were for student athletes in non-revenue producing sports, because now, and I was fortunate to get a scholarship and play a little college football also, and I was fortunate to go to another school and play baseball, and which was a non-revenue producing sport. Now, I worked two ends of it, okay? Football, I went to Eastern Michigan on a full scholarship. But here was the kicker. Full scholarship, renewable each year based on what that student did.
Your performance on the
your performance. Academically, if you made the grades. Socially, if you were an outstanding citizen on campus or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But those are like two different kind of realms. Now, I think what the NIL, this is for all athletes, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
Yes, it's for all. It's for all. It's for all athletes. That means for every sport.
Right.
The NIL is for every sport. I mean, it does not exclude anyone, but it does exclude someone.
Okay.
If you're a Division II athlete, if you're a Division II athlete, the playing field isn't fair when it comes to revenue. I can say fair or not fair, but it's not the same playing ground. You got what I'm saying?
Okay.
NIL, to me, when I'm looking at it right now, you're talking about guys that's playing Division I football, like you said before, that's bringing in real revenue. Right. We all know that, D2 goes to your family. Is your family coming to see you play versus is the fans coming to see you play? You got what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you got to think about it. Anybody that's a Division II fan, they're a Michigan Wolverine fan. They're, they're Michigan State fan. You got what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where you got guys that's playing Division II football and you're saying NIL, okay? That really doesn't mean anything to a guy, honestly, in NIL, meaning Division II, not unless he just have a mass hookup or there's former grads from that school that's working in big corporations that want to come in and say, hey, Jeffrey, I want to give you an NIL deal for $20,000. All right, you're a coffee drinker. Guess what? If you ain't a coffee drinker, act like you're a coffee drinker and do this commercial. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And do it. You know, you got to do this commercial every week or vice versa. That's how these guys are getting paid to market that stuff. So now you got social media, which none of that was around when we was around. So now you got social media to where they're giving these guys, hey, come do this 15-minute take or this whatever it is to make this commercial about whatever it is. It can be washing cars. It can be shoes, you know, hey, you got these guys driving Maseratis, Bentleys in college, man.
Okay,
you know, we ain't talking about hunt. Go ahead.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. Hold that thought, Ramon. So it's not like they're just giving them money. They still have to work for it. Outside the football field and the baseball diamond, they got to do commercials and shoe endorsements. So it's basically a professional job now.
Yeah, you do. Because I'm speaking, and the reason why we're talking, and Jeff, we're speaking because I have kids. I have a lot of kids that's in college right now. Some have deals and things of that sort. So now they come and give a guy a deal and say, hey, like I got one kid, for instance, he got a deal with a belt company, correct? All right. And so now what he does is he go put the belts on, so forth, casual belt. Next thing you know, doing a promo video here, a photo shoot. Now you sending out this code, but at the same time, when you seeing this guy, you know, everything is about branding. Everybody's about who's who, what they're wearing, so forth. So now if they see the star athlete with this on, so now they're gonna be like, oh man, let me go over there and get one of them double R belts, man. I like that belt. Why you don't like that belt? You just saw Michael Jordan with that belt on. You don't like the belt. You got what I'm saying?
Right.
You want that belt now just because he's marketing that belt. You got what I'm saying? And so that's what you get. Everything's a trend. So if you put the right product with the right athlete, then you're going to get other people to follow. So that way they're going to get their money back in some sort of way. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they have a plan for it. And the only reason why I say that the D2 guys is the opportunities are very small for them when it comes to NIL. You got what I'm saying? Because the audience isn't as big as the other bigger schools for them to say, hey, I want to drop $500,000 behind you. I want to drop $250,000, whatever it is. But you see these things are going on. And so with everything that I see, everything I'm witnessing from the kids that I train, other kids, and even just other kids that I know, it's big time money being put out there. And it's just, hey, try a Bojangles biscuit today.
Listen, Ramon.
Bojangles. That's some good chicken.
Yeah, that's some good chicken, brother. Yeah, I used to eat that when I was in North Carolina. That's some good chicken.
Yeah, it's like, listen, it's great. It's good. But I'm just saying, it's just that when we're talking about NIL, we're speaking about NIL, is it a great thing? Yeah, it's a great way to give money to players. Now, when we're talking about it, when I'm saying that, everybody's not getting money, though.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's the difference. Yeah, everybody's not getting money.
Now,
so
let me ask you this, though, Ramon. Now, everybody's not getting money, but should everybody get money? And the only reason I say that.
And then who's getting the money?
Well, we know who getting the money. Now, but here's what I'm going. Here's where I'm going with this. Nike puts a patch on every uniform on that team.
In college. Not just that thing, in college.
Right. Now, hey, the coach gets a shoe contract. Every kid has to wear a pair of Nikes. Okay? Right. Every kid on that team, every coach on that team has to wear a Nike jacket, even though it's University of Michigan or the Jordan brand is University of Michigan. But everybody has to wear that on their feet or that on their back, okay? Can kids get compensated from that money? Where is that money going? I'm asking you
Actually, right now, no, they're not getting compensated for that. Now, unless they individually, so because if I'm not mistaken, it's a couple kids that do have individual shoe deals, but they're not athletic deals. You got what I'm saying? Athletic brand deals.
Okay.
Because you got to understand, when Nike comes in, Nike is giving, that's a team sponsor. not an individual sponsor. So now you're talking about Nike is the sponsor of the whole school, every sport on the school. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. But I'm gonna tell you what's the crazy thing is now when you go into the bookstore, now certain bookstores they got all different brands.
Right.
You know, they got all different brands. So I'm not sure how that is. I don't know if they owning the rights to the entire campus because ultimately,
just the teams.
Just the team. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So now look, with this going on with the NIL happening, which I'm happy, that these young men can finally get some money
and ladies
because the issue I've had with it all this time is you have to breaking your back, busting a shoulder, breaking a leg, and you're done, and your career is over. You might not have been conditioned or led down the right path through school, which career to go through. So you're in knitting or in physical education, which is not going to make you a lot of money. So I'm glad that these kids are finally getting paid for their efforts and their work. So where does it go from here? Where does it go from here? Do they keep on increasing it, or do they spread it out to everybody, or is it just those prime athletes who are going to get the money? Why can't I get it? I can't play baseball like Jeff. I'm not a good quarterback like you, but I'm playing football. Why can't I get that money?
Right. So that's going to be a pick and choose. That's just like fan favorites. It all goes with that. And of course, the quarterback is going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna get that deal. And if you look at how football was when it started last year, when they let me say this here too, and I agree with a lot. When they say college football is a mess right now, it is a mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
With the things, I love it that we're able to finally get some money off of our name, image, and likeness. I get that, but you have to come to a happy medium. You got what I'm saying? You have to come to a happy medium to the point of, all right, if you're at this status, and this is me, if you're at this status, and when I say that, every guy has a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star rating when they come in. Okay, that's just the football today versus when we was coming out. You was rated either 1 through 2,000 or whatever it is. That was your ranking. But now it's either you're going to be a 5-star, a 4-star, whatever it is, or no star at all. So I feel like they're going to have to go back in and really put a limit on what a player can get. You know what I'm saying? That to where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay? To where it makes sense to the point of, okay, this is what you can get if you're this star, but at the same time, we're going to give you a percentage off of jersey sales. You got what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jersey sales and things of that sort. I feel like that's what needs to happen. Because I feel like it needs to be, if we're going to talk about NIL, it has to be a thing to where every kid is reaping the benefits of us naming it name, image, and likeness. Because let's just keep it real.
Absolutely. Now,
do we know the real reason why this was installed?
Because first of all, I think that some kids, and I'm going to take the sport of basketball. The NBA has a ready-made farm system with the NC2A.
Okay.
A lot of NBA players, I'm talking about the Kevin Durant. I'm talking about Garnett and some of those guys who might not complete their 4-year run in college.
Who does anymore?
That's the point. We can bypass the college, go directly to the pros. So what does the NBA do? They create the D-League. Now, they had ready-made farm systems still with the NC2A because everybody not going to make that jump right to the NBA from high school or get the opportunity to leave. Ramon, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, let's put it like this. Ignore that call there that's coming in. I want to let everybody know I want you to hold on there, Ramon. I want to let everybody know that we're talking to Ramon Robinson of Elite Position Training. You're listening to The Hook, powered by True Detroiter. I'm Jeff Lowe, along with Keith Butler.
Yeah.
And Ramon Robinson is our special guest from South Carolina. And he is bringing the noise about the NIL, name, image, and likeness in collegiate athletics. Finally, athletes on the college level, on all college levels, can be compensated for what they do for these big universities or in colleges and small ones. Now, I got one question, Ramon, for you. And you know, I don't know if I'm stretching it or what, but I'm going to stretch it. I go in the bookstore and I see a giant poster of one of my athletes in the bookstore, in the college bookstore. Can you receive NIL money from the university? Or do they say, well, like we've been saying and we said earlier, you're getting a scholarship, you're getting paid, you're being compensated.
Or do you get it from the magazine that you're on?
Or they're promoting it in the bookstore.
Yeah, but
it's on the wall in the bookstore.
So can you get money from the books, from the university, and from the magazine?
That's what I'm saying.
And here's another question for you, Ramon. We're coming up on 20 minutes right now. What does this do to the amateur rankings in college? Are they going to be gone altogether? Is college no longer going to be amateur sports? Is it going to all become professional? Because that's what paying means. You are a professional. When you get paid, you're a pro at something. You're earning a
college
salary.
Coaches get paid.
Well, that's their job. They're professionals, so-called.
Well,
but when you go to college to play a sport, you go in there to learn, play a sport. You're considered an amateur. Am I correct, Ramon?
Yeah, you're amateur. You're amateur athlete.
So then what happens now with those who are in college on the amateur level but who are getting paid? Are they still considered amateurs, or are they going to be considered professional because they are earning a salary now?
No, they still. Hey, it's called a amateur pro, a pro amateur, however you want to call it.
Okay.
Because it's an example. It's just about like a guy that goes and plays baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
That goes and signs with the majors, but guess what? He comes back to the school and he plays football, but he's still in the minors in baseball.
Right.
It's on that line, okay? It's on the lines of that, and I'm not pinpointing it perfect with everything, knowing all the rules, but I'm saying that's what you're getting now.
Okay.
You're getting a professional amateur now. That's what you're getting because of the type of money that they're getting. And the little things that we're talking about these kids getting money. All right, let's back this thing up right quick. And I'm gonna give you a little bit more time because I'm ready to rock and roll now. Okay,
Go ahead, man.
But it's like this right here, man. It's people have to understand. You got to take your shades off and really see college sports for what it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the programs from back in the day with the 30 for 30s, the death penalties of what? Athletes doing what?
Receiving money
right?
from boosters.
All right,
Yeah.
receiving money. All right, this is the thing that everybody don't understand. They failing to realize more so is that that's all this is. This is a legalized way right now for whatever program you're at for them to silently give you money legally without any program going on probation. Okay,
That's a good idea.
because you got to understand, the big boys is the ones that got the heavy bags, brother. You got what I'm saying?
Yes,
They're
sir.
the ones that got the heavy bags, and at the same time, one thing you got to understand, the NCAA is always going to be in cooperation with these colleges, just because the fact of it is the NCAA makes billions. There was articles years ago. The NCAA makes billions off of these colleges. You got what I'm saying? And so they're not going to, and just like with bowl games, everybody don't understand bowl games. They don't understand why this team is playing this team. They don't understand, well, this team should have been there, right?
But
we
it's
all
about
have
money.
been there. It's about money. So therefore, they're not going to put a team in a high-profile bowl when they know good and well that nobody's going to travel across the country to this team, for this team. But they know, guess what? I can put Michigan anywhere. I can put Michigan State anywhere. I can put the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Clemsons, and South Carolina, everybody. I can keep naming the Nebraskas and things of that sort. Those are diehard fans, man.
Right.
Notre Dame, they're going to follow. You can put the game in.
They have alumni everywhere.
Yes, they everywhere. So you can put the game in Saudi. Yeah, you can say I'm going to do the Saudi Arabia Bowl. Guess what? Those fans gonna find a way to get across the water. Mm-hmm. You got what I'm saying?
And they've done that. They've done it. Not in Saudi Arabia.
They done did it.
Right.
Yeah, they done did. But they can't. They're not gonna put a team there. So therefore, when you see all this stuff, you see these things. Like I got some stuff I can't speak on because I know. All right. It's just that I've seen, and it's online. You see certain schools have the same, rules they've broken with the NCAA. That's bigger than this school. You see this school, same identical infractions, penalties. Mm-hmm. Guess what? That big school gave a pat on the back. We're going to take a couple scholarships. Y'all got to pay this fine. Guess what? All right, keep it moving.
Right.
Right?
Because they don't want to lose that money.
They can't lose that money. Yeah. So now you get a program that's over here, same infractions. Guess what? Y'all suspended from bowl play. Man, you going to suspend them from bowl play. Why? Yeah, they ain't bringing no money.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? They're not bringing any money to the table. But my point of saying that is they're working hand in hand in regards to the colleges, whether college coaches, not every college coach loves this thing, okay? Not every one of them love it. You can see that on TV. Everybody's voicing their opinions in regards to the guys doing X, Y, and Z. But what they don't realize is you got to sit back. They're really saving y'all ass, okay? Mm-hmm. They saving y'all ass in regards to, guess what? You're making the game easier for them. You're making it easier for them to where now when guys, you want that guy and you got to pay him X amount of dollars, guess what? You're able to do that now. Why?
Let me ask you this, Ramon. Let me cut in for one quick second while I got this on my mind, because I don't think people understand the NC2A and what it is. Can you explain to our listeners exactly what the NC2A is? Because that's pretty much the governing body for collegiate athletics, but it's a separate body.
Separate body.
Go ahead.
No, it's a separate body. They got the bylaws and everything in regards to what every college in the United States, from Division I down to FCS Division II to Division, to Division II to D3, in regards to what your restrictions or what your limitations are in regards to being able to recruit an athlete, what an athlete is able to receive in regards to receiving a scholarship. Okay, and that's everything. Everything is in the books in regards to eligibility at each level. And that's what it is. And what each athlete is supposed to receive in regards to whether they're a FCS, FBS Division I athlete to an FCS Division I athlete, okay, and to a Division II athlete. And if you know in Division II, those are when we're talking about the Pell Grant, all right? That's when everything is off of academic base in regards to what an athlete is going to have to pay.
But these are two different organizations. Like you got college football, and on the left you got the NC2A. They're two different organizations. But the one organization, which is the NC2A, is the governing body for all of college sports.
Well, I can get that, man, because you got to have somebody that make things even, well, so-called even across the board. I mean, I can't have Alabama doing what they want to do and have Michigan doing what they want to do.
But they do that. You just said it. They do that.
But even if they're doing separate things, there is still some bylaws and rules and regulations that they still have to fall under, even though they're going to try and do their own things. Like Ramon was saying, everybody's got to be in some kind of guideline. It's just like me. I'm a bowling fan. I bowl. my league may be different from another league, but the USBC is the governing body of bowling everywhere. Our league has their own bylaws.
Right.
Another league has their own bylaws, but there are some standards that, regardless of what we do or say, we cannot overrule the USBC.
That's why I said that. Another reason I said that is because, just like you said, the NC2A, you got the Big Ten, ACC, you got SEC, you got all these different divisions, not necessarily having to answer to the NC2A.
But I thought they all did, don't they?
If I'm not mistaken,
no, they all do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You all have to. You all have to.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, like that's a twist too when you say that, because I'm gonna give you an example. You got academic schools like Duke, right?
Okay.
You saying you got the NCAA and every player you got to have this to be qualified to go to this school. Man, your academics got to be different going to a Duke University.
Thank you.
Vanderbilt and things like that, which those things does not make sense. You got what I'm saying? It don't make sense when, if you're a Power 5 program, why is the academic standards different from this school and that school when we're all NCAA athletes?
Why are they lower?
That's
2.
But that's my argument.
At Vanderbilt, is a 2.0 at Alabama.
Okay, but that's my point.
Right.
That's my argument. Though they're all under one governing body, they still have their own personal bylaws. I mean, I can set my own cap. In my league, our cap is 210. You can't be above 210. In another league, their cap might be 220. You can't be above 220. So you can go up to 220. Anybody who comes in with like a 225 or 221, they can't bowl in that league or in our league. But even though our caps are different, just like
GPA,
even though our caps are different, we still fall under the rules and regulations of the USBC.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying about the NCAA.
But
which I get.
Okay.
But we're running out of time.
Go ahead.
And Ramon, I'm going to get off of that subject. I don't know if you answered this question or not, but I'm still a little confused. And if you could clarify one more time for me before we let you go. Are all students getting some kind of money? I know the prime student, the 5-star athletes are getting a little bit more money. They're getting the endorsements. But what about the bench warmers and stuff like the guys on third string and so forth like that? Do they get anything other than being on the team?
They're getting that scholarship money, and at the same time, they're getting a stipend. Now,
but what about walk-ons?
Now, you talking about a different ball game.
Walk-on is a walk-on.
Yeah, he's just out of luck.
You got to earn your stripes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that every athlete gets a stipend. Like I said, when guys was getting hungry and we jumped off of it, that's when they started the thing. I think it was the basketball player. Y'all remember the incident during the NCAA tournament? The basketball player said he was starving, hungry, and all that stuff because he didn't have nothing to eat.
Mm-hmm.
He had no money. So that's when they started doing stipends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Stipends, the kids, the athletes can get a stipend to be able to do what they want to do, buy extra groceries and things of that sort. Then next thing you know, it went on over to the NIL, which NIL has been something that's been in the makings for a long time. You got what I'm saying? But then at the same time, when you got everybody else in every other school, now come on, now these jokers throw shots at each other now. When it comes to, hey, Jeffrey's doing this program is doing that, and so forth. Okay, what better way to say, hey, you know what? We got to go ahead and get this NIL thing in place. Okay,
right. Hey,
so now,
Ramon,
because I'm gonna give you an example before we go. Give you an example because the big alumni from the University of Miami. If people don't realize, the big alumni from the University of Miami went and gave everybody at the University of Miami their first NIL deal.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Through his business.
Yeah. Hey, Ramon, man, I appreciate it, man. I'd like to thank you again. Ramon Robinson from Elite Athlete. Is that right? Elite Athletes Training, right?
Let Ramon say
position,
it.
Elite position training.
Yeah.
Hey, because they're messing it all up.
Hey, based out of South Carolina, You got to do you have a email or a website they can go to check you out?
Yeah, I got an email. My email is qbcoachrr17@gmail.com. And you can reach me on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram at qbcoachrr17 as well.
Okay.
Right, thank you, Ramon. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yes.
I'm Keith Butler. That's my co-host, Jeff Rowe.
And I'm getting NIL money too. NIL.
And we want to thank you all.
I got to have something.
Thank you all for listening to The Hook. We hope you stay with us and catch us on our next show. And we're going to sign off. Ramon, thank you for the knowledge. Jeff, thanks for being here.
All right.
Good night, everybody.